Yo, welcome back. Very different video for you guys today. It's going to be a talking one. It's how I've managed to save 3 different households, literally thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds in a mistake, which I thought was my own, which was not. So I'll bring you back. I'll start the story from the beginning. Customer rang me up, said, Nick, we have got funny electrics at our house. Our boiler motherboard has blown 3 times already. It's a brand new boiler. It's been fixed under warranty. So I was like, yep, no problem. What exactly do you want me to do? Do you want me to just test the circuit run, do an EICR, figure out what's going on? Well, they turned around and said, it's a very old board we've got. It's an old split load board, RCD covering, sockets, that sort of stuff. So they sent me a picture, and it was the case. In the garage, one RCD covering a few circuits, but at some point the house has had a big kitchen renovation, small extension on the side, all new cabling, all put on the non-RCD side. So I'll put a picture up so you can see. I thought, right, okay, board swap, I could do with doing an EICR. I'm running a bit short on time at the moment, and they were pressing me to get it done. So I thought, yeah, cool. So we went around there, tested a few circuits. The one light circuit that I did not do an IR on is because of all the LED bulbs. I thought, oh, don't worry, I'll do it afterwards. Was the lighting circuit. And Sparks, they're watching this, you know full well, right, they're gonna have a shared neutral, because the old part of the house was black and red cabling. Most of the extension was all brand new cabling. So I thought, right, okay, so we got that done. Went to then start testing at the end, did a combined live and neutral, and then we tested to earth, and shocker, it was a dead short. So I didn't even try and energize the RCD, or sorry, the RCBO. I thought, right, we'll go with it. So, looking around everywhere, they're already definitely a shared neutral. I know that for a fact, because I went out, did a little walk around and figured it out. And so I started taking down light fins, after light fins, after light fins. Oh my God, down lights absolutely everywhere. If it was to have an EICR done on it to be rented, it would have failed because of the amount of single insulation hanging out back of the lights. We've got the non-fire rated LED lights in the hallway. Anyway, the list goes on and on and on. And finally, I thought, right, let's double check. They had a new bathroom done in the past year or so, and the bathroom company decided to put a RCD fuse spur up in the loft next to the boiler. So, okay, so I checked that. Disconnected the light circuits. All I was doing is one by one was literally disconnecting a link out, because it was a power to the switches, which I should have said earlier, sorry about that. It's very late now when I film this. I'm trying to get as many videos in as possible because I got loads of stuff coming up next week. Anyway, also if you haven't liked the video already, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. So going around power the switches, but obviously it's a neutral earth fault, and we're only getting earth coming to the light switches, not the neutral, so it means climbing around absolutely everywhere. Went in the loft, found as many JBs as I could because there was a lot, and there's a little junction box with some connector blocks, and we've got our new cable coming across, new colours across to the bathroom light. So I just disconnected that, went downstairs, checked the mega, and this is the worst thing when you work by yourself now. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. Fuse board was in the garage, and I was kept going up in the loft. I think about 9 times I went up and down. I was nice, not fun. So literally cleared the fault straight away, and I found at a later date, because I had to go back there again. It was the RCD fuse spur that the old people had fitted, which didn't need to be there anyway. It was actually broken within the fix in itself. If I joined on the earth terminal and the neutral, it was completely linked, dead short. Remove that anyway, fix the fault. But before that, so it was getting late at night, it was about 5:30, 6, it was already pitch black outside. I was just started screwing on the last light switch. I'd already energized the lights at this point. It was very dark, so I put it on and I was just screwing the light switch back as the power was on. I know you shouldn't do it, but I did it. We're electricians, it's fine. And as I put it back, all the lights in the house started going, ooh, and I was like, oh, here we go. So me being me, I then just wiggle the light switch. Nothing happens. And you could hear the beer fridge in the background, which had quite a loud fan on it, started going, ooh. It was really slowing down. I thought, that can't be to do with me. Surely, can't be to do with me. Anyway, screw the light switch back, and it kept going. The lights were going. I thought, this isn't right. So I turned a few of the breakers off, turned them back on, still the same. I thought, well, I've got the tester out. So at exactly 5:30, I turned around, plugged top in, plugged it in. Oh, sorry, I just took the lid off the board, and this is the picture I took. I had 288 volts at the fuse board I just fitted. So instantly I know we can't have this. We'll turn the power off. Notified the customer and said, this isn't right. This is not good. I've turned the power off. I've isolated it. because any of that current starts going upstream, that's going to start blowing stuff. And then it tickled me. I was like, oh, okay. So that's a good reason why, if this is a fault within the house, and I don't know how this is possible to physically draw more power than it can, that it's going to start blowing the motherboard in the boiler. And the fireplace, they hadn't told me at this point, the fireplace, £1,500 built-in fireplace, had also blown as well. I thought, right, okay, straight to Western Power, ring them up. This is the situation. What do I do? Turn the power off. Already done that, no problem at all. And then we got a knock on the door from the neighbour, and the neighbour goes, I can see all your lights are up, but what's your electrician done? My lights are flashing. So I ran straight over there and got a measurement at her house. And at the time it said 100, and put it on the screen, 198 volts at her house. I thought, So I turned her power off. Then we went outside, and the lady on the end, her house was flashing, and I thought, I'll knock on. And she was like, whoa, I don't know what's going on. So I'm an electrician, done some work at the previous house, next door's got it, you might be on the same phase. Can I just come in and just stick my tester in? She had 106 volts in her property. So I literally just isolated everyone's house to be on the safe side. Western Power said they're already on the way, they'll be about 45 minutes. They were banging, fantastic, couldn't highly recommend them enough. They did a great job, they turned up. It was about 22 minutes later, so he got pulled off a job straight to us, explained to the Spark at the time, said this is the situation. So then we went round, he did the same thing. I just turned the things off, he pulled the fuses, because the middle house we went into, we could smell burning, and badly, and it was almost like the cable under the floor in the garage was starting to like set on fire. You could smell it. It was gross. If you know the smell of burning rubber, that was it. He got his Mega out, which is an older one, and he put it across the middle house, main cutout, as he pulled the fuse out, and we had just shy of 400 volts. We had 396 volts on the property. And I was like, and he was blown away. I was blown away. I was like, well, this isn't good. And then we went across, I've got no more pictures of that. We went across to the house at the end and tested, and no neutral and no earth, but still reading live. So he was like, pen fault in the road. And we've spoken about this loads on the channel before. I've never been across it, never occurred it, but I was like, right, okay. I said, where's the joint? So we got his iPad, sat in the van with him. He didn't have to do any of this with me, but he did. Went through it, found the joint. He said it's just outside the middle house, in the footpath, so we shouldn't disturb the path. I've already rang for the dig team, they're on their way. I said, what else could I have done in this situation? Like, what would have been the best procedure? He said, straight away you rang us, you isolated the board, which is the first thing, because you've saved appliances. He said everything connected to plug sockets, light switches, anything electronic would have just blown up instantly, because it was just drawing and drawing and drawing. It was just pulling it and pulling it to the point where the house in the middle was 400 volts, which is insane. I've never seen that. That's three-phase stuff, not single-phase. So, yeah, did that, sat, waited, I packed back up. My thing, I was panicking in the back of my head. I thought, well, how have I caused this? Have I crossed polarity on the board? Which I know I hadn't, because I was testing it. I was being methodical, I was taking my time. I wasn't recording any of this. Took the GoPro, annoyingly took the GoPro, sat in the van, didn't record any of this happening at the time. It was just mad panic stations, thinking for 5 minutes, Jesus Christ, this is going to cost me so much money to fix. I have no idea what I've done. Pure panic. And then after that, I realised it was nothing to do with me. This has obviously been happening for quite a long time. Skip forward 25 minutes, where the three houses have all gathered on the front driveway, and I just charged all my uni lights up. I had about 9 uni lights in the van, so I passed them all out to the families. The couple on the end, the kids were in the bath when the power went off. Lady in the middle was about to go to the cinema, and then the couple that I was obviously working for, trying to make some tea at some point once the power went on. That couldn't happen, so I gave everyone uni lights, and they all started talking. And he was like, yeah, we've had this weird power thing where the boiler keeps blowing every couple of weeks. And then both houses said exactly the same thing, that this same thing had happened to all three of them, but none of them really spoke about it to each other. And it happened over a 6-month period the first time the first one went. So spoke to the guy at Western Power, and he said it's just a breakdown of cable. Looks like it's the joint in the road that they're going to have to fix. So that's the problem. And I tried to get out of him, why would it draw? If anyone knows in the comment section, please let me know why it would physically pump more current, more voltage up each individual main cutout, because I don't know. I can't see on how that would work. The end people lost the earth, the people on the right didn't, but they got 400 volts and she got 100 volts. Please explain. Anyway, domestic spark, don't worry about it. No idea. If someone could put it in a dumb way in the comment section, that'd be great, thank you. Anyway, so I then went back 2 days later, because I couldn't do anything. The power was off and it didn't get turned on until 2 o'clock in the morning. The customer was happy. I'd already done most of my live testing anyway when the power was back on, so the only thing left to do for me was label the board up. So I went back there, labelled the board and fixed the fault, which was taking the RCD fuse spur out of the loft. Happy days. And then I took a picture of the road, which you can see, I'll put it on screen now. The joint wasn't quite where they wanted it to be. It was, I think, 3 meters back this way, but they dug the wrong way and then had to come back themselves. And as I was there 2 days later, they were tarmacking it as I was sort of leaving. The insurance company for Western Power went around the next day and made an itinerary of everything that's broken in the house, which luckily for everyone, I think it was just one thing each. One was a couple of bulbs in the lady's kitchen in the middle house. On the end, I think their boiler got the brunt of it. And then the house I was working in, it was the fireplace, I think, I can't quite remember. But yeah, the guy said, you did exactly the right thing. You called us, you turned the power off, you saved everyone's house from things popping around like fireworks. So in that situation, check voltage. If it's anything higher than you think is, acceptable, bang the power off, ring Western Power, which it is for us in the West Midlands. I don't, it might be for everywhere. I just presume everyone has Western Power. And yeah, ring them, let them sort it out. But it was one of them horrible occasions. For 5 minutes, I absolutely panicked, sweated, thinking, what have I done here? Because you never know. I tried to explain to the customer, you have an old fuse board at the end, the kids are in the bath, you've got no bonding, and there's, let's say, a fault touching the pipe, and you've got no earth and no neutral popped in the road. It's terrifying to think what could have happened. But anyway, any stories like that, put them down in the comment section. I'm going to try and record a few more videos in and around sort of this sort of setup. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Love you, bye.